Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's episode of Morte D'Arthur. Tonight, Sir Palomides will have his revenge, or so he might like us to expect. We'll see what happens there when he comes up against Sir Tristram in tonight's bloody battles. Hello Black Rabbit, hello come in, hello Sean, hello Taz, welcome to you, and Julia, hello, come in, welcome. I hope you're all in a fine mood tonight. I know I am, so welcome. Hello Ricky, come in. Are we all looking forward to this? I'm looking forward to this. I know that Sir Tristram's not really happy until he's on a horse trying to smite somebody. So here we go. Tonight and tomorrow night will be smite heavy for those of you who like that kind of things. Oh, you're cold. No, I don't have a fire. There's certainly enough paper in here to cause a dangerous fire if ever naked flame should enter this room. But no, I'm afraid I can offer no warmth for tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, it's chilly over there. Well, we'll give it a couple of minutes, Sean. We'll give it a couple of minutes for folk to come through. We're a bit late starting tonight. My fault entirely. But we'll give some folks some time to come through, and then we'll get into the show. Very, very much looking forward to doing all of this. So, good. Oh, we've got wind. We've got wind over here, Black Rabbit. Serious wind over at this end. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully it will die down even. Fingers crossed. But we'll make do. We'll see how we deal with it, what happens, and go from there. Anyway, let's get into tonight's show. No, not heavy rain. Just a crazy wind. Just crazy wind. But I'm on top of a hill, so we always have crazy wind up here. I just have to hope that nothing blows away, and that I don't have to dislodge a tree off the car or something in the morning. As long as that doesn't happen, we're all good. Anyway, let's get into tonight's tale. We are telling the tale of Sir Tristram. Hello, Sarah. Come in. Sir Tristram, my favourite knight, second greatest knight in all the realm, who has been exiled from the land of Cornwall after he was caught in bed with Lady Isolde, wife of King Mark. In his exile, Sir Tristram has been travelling across Britain, has come across dangerous evil plots at the hands of Queen Morgane le Fay. He has defeated these plots so far and has continued onwards, accompanied by none other than Sir Gawain himself. And so these two knights have gone forth, and it seems they have come across a tournament that's about to take place. For a great many number of knights are gathering to test themselves out and see which are the stronger in friendly, although we'll see how friendly it is when you've got another knight coming at you, combat. Tristram has just spied Sir Palomides, a man who he once fought with for the love of Isolde of Ireland, then later to be Isolde of Cornwall. At the time, Tristram defeated Palomides. Now, perhaps we'll see what happens if Palomides is to face off against Tristram again. Surely this man will want revenge for having had his beloved snatched away from him by Tristram. Let's see what happens as we get into tonight's show. Then Sir Tristram and Sir Persides saw the people of the country salute Sir Palomides. And within a while there came a squire of the castle who told Sir Pelens, who was lord of that castle, that a knight with a black shield had smitten down 13 knights. Fair brother, said Sir Tristram to Sir Persides, let us cast upon us cloaks, and let us go see this play out. "Not so," said Sir Persides. "We will not go like knaves there. Instead, we will ride like men and good knights to withstand our enemies." And so they armed themselves, and took their horses and great spears, and thither they went. There as many knights assayed themselves before the tournament. And anon Sir Palomides saw Sir Persides, and then he sent a squire unto him, and said, "Go thou to the yonder knight with the green shield, that has within a lion of gold, and say to him, I require him to joust with me, and tell him that my name is Sir Palomides." And when Sir Persides understood that request of Sir Palomides, he made himself ready, and then anon they met together upon the field. But Sir Persides had a fall, and then did Sir Tristram dress himself ready to be revenged upon Sir Palomides, and at that which was seen by Sir Palomides, that was ready, and so was not Sir Tristram. And so Sir Palomides took Sir Tristram at an advantage, smote him down over the horse's tail, and then he had no spear in his rest. Then started up Sir Tristram, who took his horse lightly, and was wroth out of measure, and sorely ashamed of that fall. Then Tristram sent unto Sir Palomides by governor, and prayed him to joust at his request. "No," said Sir Palomides, "as at this time I will not joust with that knight, for I know him better than he knows, and if he is wroth, then he may write it to morn at the Castle of Maidens, when he may see me and many other knights." And with that came Sir Dinadan. And when Sir Dinadan had seen Sir Tristram angry, then he did not joke. "Lo," said Sir Dinadan, "here may a man prove to be a man who was never so good, yet may he have a fall, and he was never so wise that he might be overseen, and he rides well and never falls." And so Tristram was passingly angry, and said to Sir Persides and to Sir Dinadan that I will revenge myself. And right so as they stood talking there came by Sir Tristram a likely knight, who rode passingly soberly and heavily, with a black shield. "What knight is that?" said Sir Tristram unto Sir Persides. "I know him well," said Sir Persides. "That man's name is Sir Briant of North Wales." And so he passed on among other knights of North Wales, and then came Sir Lancelot the Lake. Sir Lancelot bore with him a shield of the arms of Cornwall, and he sent a squire to Sir Briant, and required him to joust with him. "Well," said Sir Briant, "since I am required to joust, I will do what I may." And then Sir Lancelot smote down Sir Briant from his horse, and he had a great fall. And then Tristram marvelled at what knight he was that bore the shield of Cornwall. "Whatsoever he be," said Sir Dinadan, "I warrant you, he is of King Ban's blood, the which be knights of the most noble prowess in all the world, to account of so many." And then there came two knights of North Galley. One was called Hugh de la Montagne, and the other Sir Madoc de la Montagne. And they challenged Sir Lancelot foot hot, and Sir Lancelot did not refuse them, but made themselves ready, and with one spear he smote them down both over their horses' croups. And so Sir Lancelot rode on his way. "By the good Lord," said Sir Tristram, "he is a good knight who bears the shield of Cornwall, and it seems to me that he rides in the best manner than ever I saw any knight ride." And then the King of North Galley rode unto Sir Palomides, and prayed him heartily for his sake to joust with that knight that hath done us in North Galley despite. "Sir," said Palomides, "I am full loath to have ado with that knight, and cause why is, for as tomorrow there is a great tournament, and therefore I will keep myself fresh by my own will. No, said the King of North Galley, I pray you require him of jousts. Sir, said Sir Palomides, I will joust at your request, and require that knight to joust with me, and often, for I have seen a man have a fall at his own request as well. Halfway through tonight's tale, and Sean, I do agree. I personally am a big fan of the intros as well. I'm a massive fan of the intros for this show. And I've been thinking recently, as I sometimes want to do, because the intros, I really like the intros to the show, guys. I get excited about the intros. As you can see, the intros are fun. And it has to be said that not all of Sir Thomas Malory's smiting scenes are the best. And sometimes, there's a scene or a couple of chapters that are not as exciting as the other. And to be honest with you, this is not the greatest jousting tournament that Malory has ever written. We can be honest and say that. And I'm also aware that lots of you, in fact, I don't think Taz, Black Rabbit, Sean, Julie, I don't think any of you guys were here at the start of Morte D'Arthur. And Danny, you were there very, very close to the start, but I don't think you were there for the very, very start. And I've always been an admirer of people like my grandfather who can just stand and tell a story. They will just make up a story off the top of their heads. And I always wanted to do that. And actually there's a part of me that did want to do improv through Periscope, but at the time when I first started, I didn't have the confidence, and so I started doing Morte D'Arthur instead, because that way I could read it. And what I think we've found is that over the past few months, I've built up more and more confidence to actually tell a story. No, my grandfather was is still Bernard Smith. He's a wonderful, wonderful storyteller. He's got 99 different ways of telling the story of Jack and the Beanstalks. He does actually have 100 ways, but the 100th way involved torture, and my nana banned him from ever telling me how Jack enacted his revenge upon that giant. Anyway, my thought would be, how does the room feel? And we'll ask on Facebook and Twitter as well, and Instagram. How would we feel if we kept reading these stories, but actually 1 or 2 nights a week, I went back to the start and I went back to the start and told the opening of Morte D'Arthur in my own version, as opposed to Malory's. If you've got kind of an entire show that was just intro, just improvised storytelling, me direct to you guys, direct to camera, no book, just me telling the story. And we'll still do some of the story, because I still enjoy telling the story and reading the story to you guys. I still enjoy reading the story. But what if we just did an entire show that was just me chatting to you guys? Okay. There we go. Cliff Notes for true fans. And then, okay, great. Well, okay then, guys, what we'll do. We won't do it this week. We'll announce it on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. We'll bring it, but then we'll bring a retelling of Morte into the show, so you guys can have an entire show, maybe once or twice a week, of just me straight to camera. That could be fun. Well, next week Poetry Live is booked. Black Rabbit, but we haven't discussed what we're doing with Morte. And actually, I think the time might be here. Maybe not next week, because what I'd like to do is actually to make sure, to do a bit of publicity for it, make sure everyone knows it's coming, and round it up, and actually to plan it as well. because if I'm going to do this, I don't want to shortchange you guys. If I'm going to do it, I want to go all out and give you something that's properly epic. And in the spirit of that, let me take this one away. Let me think about this one then. I will do it. I think I will do it. We will stop. We will go back to the start, and I'll tell the story of how Arthur comes to be king, because I don't have those shows on Catch either. So it would be great to go back to them and bring them back in to the fold. Read those to you guys. That could be fun. Anyway, excellent. Thank you, Sean, for prompting me with that thought. It's been at the back of my mind for a couple of months, actually. But do you know what? That kind of just crystallised it in my head. The intros actually are full of passion, full of excitement. Let's just do an entire show of intro. Anyway, still got to round up tonight's show before we go and tell the tale of, before we tell Till Bashing, which is my novel, coming up next. So I've got 7 minutes to round off the second half of tonight's tale, and then we'll get into Till Bashing. Till Bashing, I'm very, very excited for tonight's episode as well. So, here we go. Then Sir Palomides sent... Hello, Susan! Then Sir Palomides sent unto Sir Lancelot a squire, and required him to joust. Fair fellow, said Sir Lancelot, tell me my lord's name. Sir, said the squire, my lord's name is Sir Palomides the good knight. In good hour, said Sir Lancelot, for there is no knight that I saw this 7 years that I had anything to do with than him. And so either knight made themselves ready with 2 great spears. No, said Sir Dinadan, you shall see that Sir Palomides will defeat him quite easily. It might be so, said Sir Tristram, but I undertake that knight with the shield of Cornwall shall give him a fall. I believe it not, said Sir Dinadan. And right so they spurred their horses, readied their spears, and either one hit each other. And then Sir Palomides broke a spear upon Sir Lancelot, and he sat and moved not. But Sir Lancelot smote him so lightly that he made his horse to avoid the saddle, and the stroke broke his shield and the hauberk, and had he not fallen, he would have been slain. How now, said Sir Tristram? I know well by the manner of their riding both that Sir Palomides should have a fall. Right so did Sir Lancelot ride his way, and he rode to a well to drink and to repose himself. And they of Northgally espied him where he rode, and then there followed him 12 knights, who would have mischieved him for their cause, that upon the morn at the tournament of the Castle of Maidens, if he should not win the victory. So they came upon Sir Lancelot suddenly, and uneased him, and each might put upon his helm and take his horse, but they were in hands with him. Then Sir Lancelot got his spear, rode through them, slew a knight, broke a spear in his hand, and then, within a few short strokes, had slain the other 3 knights, and the remnant that abode, he wounded them sorely. Thus Sir Lancelot escaped from his enemies of North Wales, and then Lancelot rode his way until a friend and lodged him on the morn. For he would not the first day have ado in the tournament by cause of his great labour. And on the first day he was with King Arthur there, as he was set on high upon a scaffold, to discern who was best worthy of his deeds. And so Sir Lancelot was with King Arthur, and jousted not the first day. Hello, Sabby. Hello. Come in. Very, very welcome. We've just been telling the tale of Sir Tristram, how Sir Tristram has come up against Sir Palomides, who he once defeated when they were fighting for the love of Queen Isolde. He was defeated. My hair is wonderful, Sabby. Wonderful. Nothing wrong with my hair. But it seems in the rematch, Palomides came up against Tristram, knocked him off his horse before he had time to do anything. Already himself, Tristram is mightily angry at this, although Palomides has now been knocked down again by Sir Lancelot himself, who came in disguise, knocking Palomides down to size. However, this was all pre-tournament. We have still got several days of tournament ahead of us, and tomorrow we shall find out what happens when Tristram comes out upon the first day of the tournament. And we'll see what happens as well when Tristram again comes face to face with Palomides. I can't wait to share this with you guys. It's going to be great. And also, for those of you like Lars and Susan who came through midway there, no, I am not an actor. I am not at all savvy. I am a guy who likes to, I'm a writer, but I like to tell stories, not just write them. So, that's it. I savvy, I am Simon King, and I come on here every night. Well, Sabina! Hello, Sabina. My name is Simon King, and every night at this time I come onto Periscope and I tell tales. I tell the tales of King Arthur from 9 o'clock UK time, and then from 9:30 I read some poetry. Although tonight, because it's Thursday and it's a very special night, tonight I will be coming on to go and read my own novel, which is coming up. Susan, I would love to, but I'm afraid at the moment, literally, I have no time. I have been getting up at 5:30, starting work, getting home. The past 3 nights I've got home at about 10 minutes to the show. I run on and do the show. If I'm lucky, I can eat at work. And if I'm not lucky, I end up cooking. So Susan, if it's on Catch, that's excellent. I can probably go and do it on Catch at the weekend. Catch is where it's at for me. Fab! Catch is where it is. Excellent. Catch I can probably do, Susan. Anything live at the moment. For those of you who don't know, I look after business support for North Yorkshire and East Riding. And on Thursday last week, George Osborne heavily cut business support. So I've been running around like a madman trying to deal with the fallout of the economy, basically. So it's kind of had me a bit wrapped up. But you get me for this bit. And hopefully on Cat. So congratulations on that, Susan. Anyway, Till Bashing coming up in a minute, guys. So I'm going to bring this one down and then pop back up again very, very shortly.